Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. Thanks so much for joining me. Whether you're catching me on Facebook or if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'm so glad you're here. I'm Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here to help you connect with your people, whether that's gathering to craft together or you making handmade items to share with them. It's all about making and deepening those connections. So let's get to it. All right. Let's see. First up, as always, is Friday night Stampin' results. And here were the two entries. And I came out the winner this week with the Jolly Delivery card. So this is a new bundle. It's a whole new suite of products, actually, from the mini catalog. Let me show you. So if you have a catalog or if you look at it online, it's on page 29. But the bundle includes great stamp set, and then the dies cut out pretty much everything that you've got in there. But it also has this cool little, it's kind of a slim box die. And then there's different closures for it. Really fun. Great embellishments, ribbon, beautiful papers. So much fun things with the Jolly Delivery. So if you liked that card, definitely check out that whole suite of products. I did want to point out a lot of times when I'm working with something new, especially something I'm kind of not familiar with, or if I'm working kind of in a different style that I'm used to, I'll get done with a card and I'll think, why doesn't it look as cute as all the other ones I saw online? And it's usually the little details. So I want to point out a couple of little details. First of all, I found perfect background paper in the what's it called? Nests of Winter designer paper. Looks like a perfect little snowy day there. I grabbed just a strip of smoky slate cardstock down here and I scored it like every inch and then just ran my blend down the grooves to make my own sidewalk. And then I also cut a little slit in the mailbox and popped a couple of those letters in the slit in the mailbox. So it just gives it that extra little something, right? Popped my little dachshund up so he was walking kind of in front of the polar bear. So little things like that really step up the card. And so if you just think about those little details, that will help elevate your crafting. All right. Well, tonight, before I get started there, one thing that's coming out tomorrow. Hello. You're not too late. I was just gabbing about Friday night Stampin'. You already know that. Tomorrow, this fabulous 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar is going on sale. Put the details there in the window. So this is going to be while supplies last, and it is 12 days. It's kind of like a big book box kind of deal. So you'll open it up and everything, you have your 1 and 2 and blah, 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 1 through 12. So you can open one a day, or if you are like my son, when we would get the 12 socks or whatever, he would just open them all. So completely up to you. We are not policing this at all. If you're somebody that can't wait, just open all 12. But it is a bunch of coordinating product. Even the demonstrators don't really know what's in it. So there will be stamp sets, there will be dies, there will be designer paper, I believe some embellishments, like all sorts of goodies in here. So it's a fabulous gift for yourself or someone else or both. So if you have a crafty friend and you want to get together, this would be really fun to get one for yourself and one for them, and then you can get together and craft. So that is the item number. It is also on your screen. And like I said, it is while supplies last. So it's very possible that this is going to go really fast. Like, think FOMO, right? Nobody wants to miss out on this. So, and plus, I'll let you in on a little secret. The end of the Stampin' Up! Year is coming up the end of this month on the 30th. And there are a lot of demonstrators that are trying to make end of year sales right now. So they might buy a few of these just to get those sales going in. Okay. So that's another reason why I think it might go quickly. So there you go. You've been warned. Oh, you might be able to restrain yourself, Penny. Don't restrain yourself. It's highly overrated. Okay, now tonight is Fun Fold Week, so we are doing a fun fold that I got the idea from a swap when I went to the event in Peoria. This we're just calling it the two-way open fold. So it flips open this way, and then it flips open that way, and you can write your little message inside. The fun part here too is that you get to have a little strip of designer paper that peeks out, or embossing or whatever. She has embossed two-tone cardstock here and has the little designer paper plus the fabulous Thankful Garden. So we're going to go a little different route, but this is where I got the idea from. So thank you, Laura Bartow. All right. So for mine tonight, I am using a combination of the Everyday Arches bundle and various items from the Peaceful Garden suite. So we're going to use one of the dies from here, and we're going to use a bunch of the papers from there. It's like I'm just going to use everything new. This, I believe, is in the mini catalog as well. So let's just get started, right? Okay, so we're going to start with a cloud cover base. And this is just an 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 5.5 regular standard size card base. Okay. The first thing we're going to do, where's my trimmer? There we go. Is we are going to open it up, and off of the front, we're going to cut a 1-inch strip off the front. That's going to give you that little peekaboo, but you want to save this because we'll use that for our little swing arm. All righty. I have pre-cut a bunch of die cuts and things because tonight's mostly about construction. So I didn't want to worry about having to die cut in the middle. You guys could follow along pretty much, much easier that way. Okay, so we've cut our little 1 inch off the front of our card base. And then I've got 3 different prints from our Peaceful Garden designer paper. I've got some Misty Moonlight, and then I've got glimmer paper that's also part of that same suite. So awesome. Let's see. Okay, let's start by, we're going to stamp right on this designer paper, which I always forget we can do. Like, it's totally allowed. You can stamp on any paper you want. So, like, as long as it's yours, don't take somebody else's paper and stamp on it. They might get upset. But, yeah, we're going to pop one of our arches out, and photopolymer stamps, y'all know that they bend, right? That's part of the benefit of them. But because they bend, I also want to make sure that I've got this sitting right. And this one's a little tricky. So I'm going to put it on my block, and then I'm going to bend this down a bit because I just wanted to follow that arch better. There we go. Perfect. And we're going to take my Secret C, my new favorite, right? There is Secret C in this designer paper, so I figured that was a perfect color to be stamping with. So yeah, anytime you have designer paper that has a more subtle design, or it's lighter, it's not so busy, just go ahead and just have at it. Just stamp all over it. And it's a nice change from just stamping on white, I always forget about, hey, you can stamp on different colors, and you can stamp on designer papers. And you can't really stamp on glimmer paper, sorry. Okay, so that's all the stamping we're doing tonight. So we'll put that aside for just a moment here. And so I am going to attach, that's the other. Hold on one moment. Let's see if this one's big enough. It is, yay. It might be the one, actually. Yes, I didn't use my piece. So I put this back in the drawer because I thought, oh, that's a leftover. No, it goes right on the front. So I have my little Misty Moonlight piece here, and that is 5 1/4 by 3, because we cut that inch off. So that's 4, that used to be 4 1/4, right? So I want to attach my glimmer paper, but I obviously don't, I only want to put adhesive on this side. So what I normally do is I kind of eyeball about where I'm going to be. I flip it over, eyeball it, and then I know exactly where to put my adhesive. So I don't glue my card closed. Okay. And then when you're done with that, clear off my trimmer. Either with scissors or your trimmer, you can go ahead and just cut off that extra glimmer paper. And I actually saved this and used it for some die cuts that you'll see in a minute. So this is a lot of like no waste card, let me tell you. Okay, then this can just get attached to our card front. It's good to go. I do love like a partial punch or die cut. It just gives some added interest to a card. It's one of those things that kind of elevates it. You know, it's not just a straight rectangle or a straight circle. It's kind of got that unexpected bit to it. All right. Okay, so we've got our glimmer paper. Yes, perfect. I'm following my instructions so I don't screw this up. I like to teach you guys right. Okay. So that strip that you cut off, it's going to be too long, but to start with, you're going to want to score it at 3/4 of an inch. And then we'll trim off the excess in a minute. But that's going to get folded under, and that's going to be your little opening mechanism, okay? So what's the other thing here? Yes, so what I like to do now is I want to put the arch that's going to go on top here. I want to kind of figure out where about that's going to be, because then I'll know where to put this arm. I don't want it to be too low. I don't want it to be too high. I'd like it kind of, you know, down towards the bottom here. But I need it high enough that it's going to hold that arch. Okay, so this part, very important, is going to go down first on the bottom of that little foldy. And then your 1-inch strip, so this is 1 by 5 1/4, that's going to go over that to kind of hide the mechanism, just to make it look nice and finished. Everybody's going to be able to figure out how to do it, but it looks professional and nice and clean this way. All right, so there we have our cool thing. Now this one is obviously too long. So again, you can take your trimmer or you can just take scissors. And I think I'm going to cut it just slightly shorter than that arch. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing I discovered is if you're just using designer paper on this especially, it feels a little flimsy when you're opening it and closing it. And the other thing is you've kind of got this, you know, strip over here. And I didn't like that. So I decided to sandwich it with the same size arch in the misty moonlight. So it would look, again, more finished. So it's just those little things that make a big difference. So once again, I'm going to eyeball that there. And I'm going to put the adhesive on my little swing arm here. And I don't have to worry about getting it in the wrong place on my arch. And then I can put adhesive on the back all over. And we'll sandwich that right up. So it's going to give that arm more stability as well because it's got a, you know, just a thicker piece to carry it. All right. And it's going to hold it down a little better too because now it's heavier. Okay. So we're almost there. I mean, that's a pretty cool looking card right there, really. But we're not quite done. We've got that third piece of designer paper. I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals because that's another great way to add interest to your cards, right? So even if you're doing something pretty simple, if you pop things up on dimensionals, it definitely makes a big difference. And these arches are just so much fun. I just used 3 different sizes from that same die set, and you can really get a lot of use out of these. Okay, now I wonder where those little dies went. There's one. Oh, there. Okay, so remember I told you I die cut things out of my glimmer paper. I die cut 3 of these little stars out. And what I'm going to do is put them right over the stars in that designer paper. So I'm just going to pick 3. We'll just put a little dab of glue there, and maybe there, and there. I like to not line things up when I'm like doing my little things of 3, right? So I don't want anything to be directly above each other, and I don't want anything to be directly beside each other. So kind of a little, an oblong triangle. So there we go. That is pretty simply fantastic, right? Okay, and then the last thing we want to do, we absolutely could leave this blank inside. This color is light enough that I could write on it, but I feel like adding the white to the inside just, again, makes it a little more polished, a little more finished. So this one is 5 1/4 by 3, just like that Misty Moonlight on the front. And we'll just butt that right up against that designer paper, and it's all hidden. And now it's ready for your message. Right? Thank you so much, Penny. I absolutely love this too. I will say a designer series paper pack is like, it's the cheat code for getting things to look gorgeous because everything goes together. So you don't have to worry about, ooh, is this the right blue or whatever. It just looks fabulous. And again, if that designer paper was not right on the back side as well, a good way to hide it is to just pick a color that works with the whole scheme you've got going, cover it right up. All right. As always, I do have an alternative for you, of course. And this one I used the 2-tone cardstock, and I did that sanding technique that I showed you last week, and I pulled out my Sunrise Sailing Bundle. So on this, I did the embossing folder, which also embosses that sailboat in, right? So I did the sanding for the clouds and the waves. And then when I put it together, I made sure that my sailboat sat exactly over where it was embossed underneath. Oh, Leah, I'm so sorry you're late. Yeah, definitely come back and watch the replay when you're done. Yeah, I think you'll like this one a lot. The other thing I did was that wave die cut on the strip of paper, so that you got that. And this one I did not add a piece of white because obviously it's a white card base. So, but that one was pretty simple. And again, I stamped on pool party cardstock instead of white for my sailboat. So it really kind of blended in a little bit to the 2-tone cardstock. Too fun. I absolutely love this fold. It's a pretty easy one. Like I said, you're cutting off that 1-inch strip off the front and you're using it as your mechanism. So it's super easy. You don't have to have a lot of different pieces, and it's just fun to see what you can build on that strip. As always, I have the video description has the supply list for my Peaceful Garden one, the supply list for this other, plus a bonus card will be in my newsletter this week, along with all the measurements. And I will say the bonus card this week, pretty fun time layering on the front. So you'll probably want to check that out for sure. Okay. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you about. If you have not already registered for World Card Making Day, shame on you. Just kidding. It is October 4th, which is coming up fast. It's a week from Saturday. And there is a free virtual event that Stampin' Up! Is doing, so you can tune in for an hour and just watch and learn. Or if you want, you can purchase the, I think it's called Heartfelt and Handmade kit, and you can actually craft along with them. And I just happen to have the kit here, so I thought I'd show you. I love how our kits all come, kind of shrink wrapped. This one has a stamp set, so it includes a stamping block. So even if you have no supplies whatsoever at home, you could order this kit and completely craft along with us virtually. So this one, you are making a great little card organizer, plus all of these cards. I want to say there's 3 of each of them. No, there's 2 of each of them. So it's 10 cards that you'll be making that all coordinate with the holder, which is nice. But after you've sent out the cards, you can continue to use this holder all year long. Put your stamps, a pen, all that kind of stuff, maybe a little address pad and things like that. Plus your cards and envelopes all fit right in there. So, and you also get a little Stampin' Spot. Oh, look at that. My favorite, Secret C. And a great stamp set that has all sorts of greetings. So you've got hello sunshine, happy birthday, thanks so much, thinking of you, wishing you the best, and then even a to and from. So if you want to do like your own tags for Christmas time, perfect. And then here's the organizer. It is super sturdy. Like I'm feeling it. Obviously I haven't opened everything yet, but it's thick. It's going to be sturdy. It's going to hold up to some wear, which is wonderful. So once again, World Card Making Day, you can sign up on the website for free. And once you've registered, let me pop up here so I can chat with you a little more personally. There we go. Once you have registered, you will get a link to the event, and then you can watch it live on October 4th, or if you can't tune in when it's live, you can watch the replay as many times as you want, which is nice too. If crafting along is a little too much pressure, you can always go back and pause it and whatnot and craft at your own pace. But they will be teaching other techniques. They'll be showing other products and things like that. So it won't just be about the kit, but definitely we'll be crafting along with that as well. Personally, I am holding an in-person event here in Bloomington for a few of my friends that have RSVP'd. So we're going to make a little fun card beforehand and then tune in for the virtual event as well. But be sure you are registered even if you don't intend to buy the kit, because it is free, and who doesn't love that, right? So, okay. Well, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. This is your weekly reminder that if you got some inspiration or picked up a couple of tips, please tag your bestie in the comments or share the video so others can learn those fun things as well. Till next week, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.